I'm Nicole Magelson, founder and CEO of Alpine Virtual. If you've just hired a virtual assistant, or maybe you've had one for a while, but you feel like you're not really getting the results that you want, don't worry, you're not alone. Many people struggle with how to actually work with a VA, and the truth is, if you don't set things up correctly right away, you're going to end up frustrated. You're going to end up doing the work yourself, or worst case, you're going to end up feeling like your VA isn't worth it. But that doesn't need to happen. In this video, I'm going to give you 7 clear, simple steps that will help you get results. These steps are actionable. There's no fluff, so you can walk away ready to set your VA up for success. At Alpine, we've helped save entrepreneurs and teams over 100,000 hours, and I want to help you do the same. So let's dive in. Tip number 1 is to pick one task and give clear instructions. One of the biggest mistakes that I see is people trying to hand everything off at once. And I get it. You're overwhelmed, you hired help, and you really want that immediate relief. But starting small is how you're actually going to get to that relief, because it's how you build trust and it's how you set tone with your VA. Dumping everything on your virtual assistant at once is a recipe for disappointment. So my advice is to start with one task that's really easy to explain, it's easy to review, and is valuable enough to make a difference. So an example could be, please schedule my meetings for next week instead of start planning all of my meetings. And then you can give them directions by recording a Loom video, really showing what you want, writing bulleted points with screenshots on a Google Doc, sharing examples of what done well looks like using AI tools. It doesn't really matter. It's just whatever works best for you. But be sure to not assume that everything is obvious. So spell it out at once and it'll save you 10 times the time later. Even expert VAs are not going to be able to read your mind. So your action step is to pick your first task, create one Loom and a written outline, and send that over to your VA. Tip number 2 is to set clear deadlines and give buffer time. I also see a lot of people making the mistake of being vague in their timing or expectations. They could say ASAP or soon, and what does that really mean? It means different things to different people. So be sure to be specific in your communication. Please have this draft done by Thursday at 2 p.m. so I can review it in the morning. Also, be sure to give yourself buffer time. Don't plan to review this work last minute. Rushing reviewing the work means it's going to be sloppy. So you're going to stress yourself out. Over time, you're going to have this great trusting relationship with your VA where you won't really need to review their work, but it's really crucial at the beginning. So be sure that you give a task, you give a day, a time, and you let yourself have time to review it. Tip number 3, ask your VA to document the process. Don't create more work for yourself later. The very first time your VA does a task, have them create a checklist, an SOP, a Loom video of how they did it. They can use tools like Google Docs, Notion, Scribe, Trello. Have them do this from day 1 so that the next time they or someone else can follow the guide. There's no need for you to retrain or re-explain. You are going to thank yourself later if you have to rehire, or maybe your VA is sick and someone else is trying to do the work. And so here's your tip. Ask your VA to include not just what they did, but why they did it. So this SOP helps them make smart decisions down the line. At Alpine, our VAs create SOPs regularly for clients. I recommend reviewing them a minimum of once a year to keep them fresh. All you need to do is just tell your VA, hey, thanks for doing that. Can you create a quick step-by-step so that we can repeat it easily next time? And then it's done. Step number 4 is to review their first work and give feedback fast. This is where a lot of people drop the ball. They assign a task, they get it back, and they either fix it themselves or they're silently really frustrated. So instead, take 5 minutes to review the draft, say what worked, say what you want tweaked, and this will prevent them from unknowingly doing tasks wrong, and it'll prevent you from building up resentment with your VA because they're not doing it right. Your VA is never going to be able to read your mind. And if you don't give them feedback, they're going to assume they're on track, even if they're not. Early corrections build confidence and prevent repeated mistakes. Be sure to give feedback right after you review a task, not days or weeks later. Frame it really helpfully, like this worked, but here's what could be better. Also, be sure to send a quick Slack message saying, hey, good job on that project, to help build morale and trust. Your VA is going to be excited about the work if you treat them like a person. Tip number 5, check in with your VA frequently, especially in the beginning. So don't worry, it's not forever, but especially in the first few weeks. Daily check-ins help your VA feel supported. It keeps you in the loop without micromanaging. So a check-in could be as simple as, how's that project going today? Ask them to send a daily or end-of-week wrap-up. Here's what I worked on. Here's what's next. Any questions that they have. This can be much smoother if you use tools like Slack or Asana or ClickUp. It could just be over email. It doesn't really matter, just so long as you're consistently checking in the beginning, because communication gaps create confusion, and confused VAs, they hesitate or they stall. So set up a daily check-in reminder and ask for daily updates starting today. Over time, you'll get in this natural rhythm, but checking in daily or weekly in the beginning is going to build the trust that gets you headed in the right direction with a lot less confusion. Tip number 6 is to stick to one tool per purpose. I cannot tell you how many times I have seen clients give their VAs 10 tools and then wonder why nothing is getting done. So you need to pick one task manager like Asana or Trello, one communication tool like Slack or email, one file sharing tool, one project management tool. Less confusion means faster results. So only add new tools when it's a clear need, and then provide training. So write down your official tool list and no more adding tools on a whim. Our last tip today is to treat your VA like a team member. VAs are not task robots. They are people. So when they feel valued, they work harder, they stay longer, and they give you their best ideas. And they're proactive in ways you could not even imagine. So be sure to say thank you. Ask for their input, like, do you see a better way we could have handled this? And recognize wins, even small ones. It can be as simple as, you handled that scheduling issue so smoothly. I appreciate it. Okay, so there you have it. Success with your VA is not magic. It's about clear tasks, good systems, open communication, and treating your VA like a partner. If you want help finding a virtual assistant who's vetted and ready to hit the ground running, that's what we do here at Alpine Virtual. And you can learn more at alpinevirtual.com/let's-chat. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up or subscribe for more tips and drop a comment. Let me know what's worked for you or your biggest question about working with a VA.